Hello and welcome to Nightcap. I am your host, Richard Pucci. This is Nightcap, the bi-weekly web show where two friends unwind with the topics that make us hot. I'm Richard Pucci, and this is Joy. I'm a real content creator in a real content creator studio, Nickens.
Yes.
Hello. How you doing, Joy?
I am doing wonderful. Wonderful. How are you doing?
So far, so good. I was gonna say we had a little bit of a break, but you know what? I feel like we needed it. We are we are probably if we're not talking about when we actually started, if we're talking about start time as far as ideas are concerned, we are at year 5 of Nightcap.
Yes, I literally was looking at my calendar probably last week and I was like, "Yo, Nightcap happened August, well from my calendar it says August 12th." But I'm
Yeah,
like, "Dang, 5 years?
yeah, 5 years,
Wow." And
right?
look how far we've come though. Like in terms of personally, uh, technologically, like we've moved, we've done
Yeah.
things,
Oh yeah,
moved some shaking.
no. We've uh one step forward and 3 steps back.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah.
Look, it's
no,
true.
no, but honestly, like we've gone through, 3 or 4 different ways of streaming. We've gone through. Oh, but maybe we'll try a Twitch. Maybe YouTube sort of things. I mean, shoot, Uh, I've at least had like I've lived 3 different places. I think you've lived two different places.
Yep.
I was gonna say we're a hot mess, but you know what? We keep on trucking. Boom. It's so far we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. I mean, it's just been a work in progress that I'm glad that we're learning through. It's not
Oh,
just like, oh, it didn't work, never mind, turn it off, we're done. It's just been like, all right, so what's another way we can do this, or how else can we proceed to make this better? And we honestly, like, the best thing about this has been like the people that do come back and
yeah,
look forward to this. Because for us, it's like, oh, well, we're talking to each other, and you over here, you're the creator of all this. You're the one that's like, I'm going to try this, we're going to do this, we're
yeah,
going to make this,
yeah,
we're going to have a logo, we're going to have a theme song. And people are like, no, we want to see you all.
yeah.
So, you know, it's been great.
Ah,
You were the first
yeah.
consistent thing before. I mean, let me get my long ass eyebrow eyelashes out of my way. You were like the first consistent thing I feel like I've ever had before, like my YouTube stuff, my Twitch stuff. Like at least this was scheduled, so that you helped me be a better content creator. So
Okay,
hey,
cool.
man.
I Good. I was going to say I'm happy to hear that we both sort of helped each other out as far as consistency because the number one thing that I always or before that I would always read about is the fact that you need to be consistent. Your audience, or I say it in quotations, your audience, they like to know, okay, like this is when I can catch so and so.
Mm,
So that was one of those things that I wanted to make sure that if I did something with like somebody else, like for me, like whenever I stream, I'm like, whatever. But like when it comes to like a real thing like this, I was like, no, we're gonna be consistent. We're gonna do what we got to do. And for the most part, with the exception of when stuff hits the fan or whatever, consistency is key. And I don't know, it's awesome.
yeah.
And in a way, whenever you do something with somebody else, you have like an accountability buddy.
Yes. Yes. Very true. Yes.
So whenever either you or me are just like, like I didn't know if today would be good, but then we end up doing it and then we're like, oh yeah, no, it was a great show. uh I feel like that has always been like the rainbow is either like there have been times where you're tired or I'm tired, and at the end of the show it's like that was really good, and then you
We
end up
did
feeling
that.
good about it. Yeah. Rick says it can be a chore. Oh,
Hey.
hello, Mr. Rick Brown. Yes, sometimes life can have its chores, but the good thing about chores is that it's pretty awesome. Oh, and that's a new picture.
Yeah, I was just looking at
Ah,
that too. I was looking at that like, wait a minute, what is that?
that
What is
looks
he
like
holding?
either a dog or a cat. I think it's a dog.
I'm gonna try to exit this full screen real quick. I can't tell. Hey, it's
Ah, and we got
Rodney.
a Mr. Rodney. Look at this. Everybody's showing up.
Look,
Excellent. Excellent.
hey,
So, Rodney, we are happy 5 years of knowing you, Rodney.
seriously, I've we've known Rodney longer than I've known my baby.
Oh my god.
Like Rodney has been in my life longer than my actual girlfriend. That's
That's
crazy.
so funny.
Cause shout out to Rodney, because literally I was speaking to Rodney what Sunday? Sunday night. Or was it Monday? Shit. Either I was talking to him recently. I was like, Rodney, I need your help. And he was like, okay, what's up? And I was literally just coming to him, being like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand. I don't want to blow the house up. Could you help me figure this thing out? So he was like, Joy, stop it. You can't you can't blow you can't put things on fire because you can't even plug the thing in. First of all, second of all, okay, let's figure this out together. And Rodney, patience of a saint, constant
Oh.
patience. So literally, Rodney, thank you so much. Rick, thank you so much for being here. Like literally known you since I was a baby. Like literally have known us again, both people longer than my girlfriend. Known y'all longer than my girlfriend. So look,
Ah,
is amazing.
and Mr. Rick Brown says that is Damon the dog.
Aw, Damon the dog.
Damon.
I want to see like how though. I see his eye.
Yeah, the dog is like
Oh,
this. Like
it's this way.
it's like
Okay,
this.
it's like
Yeah.
okay. I think I was looking at it the other way, where the
Uh-huh.
ear was the nose and not the ear.
Not this.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, I was like, what kind of? Yo, Rick. Eventually, whenever Florona is over, I want to visit you. Like, I do want to visit you. I last time I went, it was 2015. Crazy, crazy memories. I definitely want to have some better memories. So, whenever Florona is over, I can go back down to Florida.
Ooh. Speaking of Florona and traveling, have you done anything fun over the break?
Um, yes. So I was like, what did I do? So Bibi and I, one of the fun things that we did, taking it back last weekend, was Bibi and I actually hung out in Montclair. I know it was hung out. It was like Montclair / Short Hills. I know my
Okay.
baby sweet. Ah, hashtag my baby sweet. Yes. Huh? No. The hashtags in the show. Yes. It's like, oh, yeah. Because I just be saying my baby sweet. So yeah. Hashtag my baby sweet. So Bibi put together, like Bibi literally is a chef, an artist, a travel agent, a travel agency, a accountant, a whole CEO, saver of reptiles, aquatic life. She does it all. And she was like, okay, we're going to go through these things and we're going to go somewhere special. And I was like, all right, cool. So I feel very strongly about supporting Black business. I mean, especially because of 2020 and, all the craziness that happened. And we should support our own people. So Montclair has a lot of Black business there, which I did not realize until I realized that I'm following them on social media. So the first thing we did was go to, yeah, because I follow them on Instagram and I was like, oh, it just so happened they both are in the same town, but just in two different parts of Montclair.
Mm.
So the first one is called Coffee and Cornbread, and that's in Montclair, and it's popping. Currently, they're on vacation, so if you want to go there right now, you can't because they closed. Uh, that was delicious, really, really good. Bibi had the shrimp and grits because Bibi is like part-time Black, and dude, no, I'm just kidding. She's not, but she had the shrimp and grits. I had the chicken and waffles, and we had the coffee, and it was
Chicken or
really good.
waffles?
Chicken and waffles with chicken, the seasoning, popping, delicious. I keep saying popping. The last week or two, I've just been saying it's popping, it's popping. Delicious as hell. We had, for some reason, we had the vegan cornbread. It's not that we picked it, it's just that's what they gave us. So it was delicious. Um, After that, we went to a comic book store. I feel like we did this. Yeah. Then we went to the comic book store. That wasn't black owned, but we went to comic book store, got some gay comics and some other stuff. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Shout out to, I don't know if this is a black owned business or not, but there's something called Joe Tea, Joetea. It was a tea and it's better than Snapple.
Okay.
I don't know if that's black owned, but it's also a Montclair sourced company. So local.
It's a small bit. It's a local
It's a
small
small
business at least. So,
Yep. So shout out to Time Warp Comics that we went to. Shout out to Joe T that we bought. Shout out to the comics that we bought. Also, like most of them were women of color or people of color of the
Yeah.
comics. Then in Montclair, we went for ice cream. So we went to this place called Cream and Crumble. That's two K's, KR and KR, Cream Crumble. And that was delicious. People were amazing. They were hilarious. And we ate the ice cream quickly, and then we went to a place called Greenwood Gardens in Short Hills.
Okay.
And that was really, really nice. Like, it was such a really open, cool area. My only thought in the beginning was like, did slaves work this garden, or is it just owned by rich Italian people? And I don't know. I want to do my research, but it was a really nice place. And they took pictures and yeah. And then we went to the Short Hills Mall.
Oh, that's a very nice mall.
Yeah, and that's where racism happened, where the black lady got attacked by the white lady in the Victoria's Secrets of the Short Hills Mall. And then finally, oh no, not finally. Man, that was a really interesting day that Saturday. After that, we went to Fuddruckers, which is a wonderful restaurant. I have that on YouTube, so if you guys want to see my Bibi and I's adventure at Fuddruckers, please check it out. It was delicious. And then the last thing we did was go to her cousin's house in New Brunswick.
Okay.
Hung out there for a hot second. So I was like straight up towns in New Jersey, and then we left. Yeah, it was Montclair, and then Short Hills, and then Parsippany, and then New Brunswick.
Yeah.
So yeah, we was all over Jersey for some crazy reason on a Saturday, but it was nice.
And that was this past Saturday.
That was not this Saturday that passed, but the previous Saturday.
Okay, last Saturday. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This past Saturday was straight up like a picnic. We went picnic with the family, and it was nice. It was really cool. So we ate food, and we're at the park, and it was really nice. So enough about me. How about you? What have you been doing?
All right. So during the break.
Yes.
During the break, I'm gonna just talk about my Saturday. So this past Saturday, so the week after your crazy New Jersey Saturday, I had a crazy Pennsylvania Saturday. I left work early and we drove to Allentown, Pennsylvania, where there was a pin fest. So we went to Pinfest 2021 in Allentown, Pennsylvania, at a indoor farmers market sort of situation. So there was an indoor farmers market where there were like Amish people selling like pretzels and like all sorts of stuff. It was kind of like it was a flea market
Like
indoors,
Collinswood?
but then we ended up going to this place where they had games that you could play. Mandalorian, which just came out, I think either last year or this year. There were two Mandalorians to play. People would bring their machines and they could like try to like sell it. So there were tons of different machines that I had never seen before. It was a really cool and weird experience. Just because I'd never seen that many people going to like a random place to like play pinball, if that makes sense. And like also the quality of the games were like it was such a stretch because like there were some really old games, there were some newer games, and so that was really awesome. But the funniest thing is that so as we were leaving, here, wait, I'll show you just a picture. Look at this low tech.
Okay, it definitely looks like a video game convention for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um yeah, and also it was cool to like see like different people playing different games. But the funniest thing is so as we were going to leave, oh my gosh, wait a second. And
Ah!
there's one game that I wanted to play more than anything, like that the whole idea of like going to that area. I was like, well maybe there's a game called um there was a game called Who Done It, and I was like, well maybe this game will be there. And lo and behold, the game wasn't in the free play zone. It was like people
Locked
could like set
away.
up booths. Yeah, so people set up booths and it was in the booth setup station. And so we saw this couple playing it, and basically it's kind of like Clue, but in pinball form. And I really wanted to play it, but this couple was playing it, and so me and Cupid, we were sitting there for a while, but they were like doing really well, so we like walked away. I think if we would have like went up to the guy that owned it and said like, "Oh yeah, can we can we play it?" Then he would have been like, "Well, are you thinking about buying it?" In which case, like, I'm yeah, I'm always thinking about buying anything. I just want to play your game.
Yeah.
Um, but lo and behold, so we walked away, and then when we walked back, they had the machine opened. I guess they were checking switchboards or something in the game, and
Ooh.
then all of a sudden it was gone. So I guess
Damn.
the people bought it, but so that was like the one game that I was hoping would be there, and it was there, and I took a picture and of like just the 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 board. Rick saying that he used to live in Reading. Oh, that's cool. That's right
Oh, in
around that.
PA?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what he says. He used to live
Okay.
in Reading, and but the craziest thing. So as we were leaving, we were like, "Oh yeah, let's go to the Cracker Barrel." So as we pulled out, all right, as we pulled out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, to go to the Cracker Barrel, there was a billboard, and it said something along the lines of, "It's awesome in here." And all of a sudden, I see like a Ferris wheel, and I see a roller coaster. We literally were driving past Dorney Park. I was like, "Oh my
Oh.
god! Oh my god!" And then he was like, "Well, we're going to and we like packed up some stuff, so we were like, oh, okay, like if we wanted to stay over we could. We laid out extra like cat food, like she was going to be fine, so it was like if we wanted to stay over we could. And so we went to Cracker Barrel, we ate, and then I was like, no, it's fine, we'll just go home. Lo and behold, we went home the next morning. I just happened to look up Dorney Park. They were having a festival. They were having a carnival, and for like $35 or $50, you could either get like 5 or 9 tastes from different like places all over the world. So like if we went, we would have like gone to like this crazy like festival thing. It was like I was just like I showed it to him. He was so pissed off because like he's not necessarily like super on the rides, but like he would have loved
Mm.
the
The
like
food
cocked
part?
yeah, the food part. So we
Oh
didn't
yeah.
get to
No.
go to that.
No, I would have been mad as hell too. I'd be like, we should just check it out. At least check it out.
Yeah, it was just one of those things that we left, like we didn't know that that was a thing. So,
Yeah.
oh my goodness gracious. So we both went around different areas. Crazy for two people that have been done any traveling.
Facts. Because for the most part, I was like, well, I know I'm not going anywhere. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I know I'm not going anywhere internationally,
Yeah,
and I didn't feel like I was gonna go to certain states. Not at this moment in
yeah,
time, but it was just really nice to go around Jersey and see stuff. And
yeah.
people are practicing it. You know what? Let's take that back. In New Jersey, people
Yeah.
are getting very lax on wearing the masks.
Yes.
And I did
Yes.
not realize that until when Baby and I like really were probably like the only people with it on for a good portion of the day. I was like,
Yeah.
Y'all know
I
Corona still is out, right?
I was gonna say I wear my mask in stores and typically it's like me and like one other person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird to me because being over here where I am locally, baby and I, we see people still wearing the mask, and I'm like, all right, cool. This is this. Granted, not a lot of them are wearing it correctly, but at least they
Yeah.
have the right idea to
Yeah.
wear the thing. But New Jersey, oh my god, like where we was at, I was shocked that people weren't wearing it. So, and it did scare me a little bit because when we were in Fuddruckers, of course you can't wear the mask while you're eating your food,
Yeah.
but we took our masks off when we were going to eat and
Yes.
then put it back on when we were done. So it's kind of like not to be like Rona's gonna be like, oh, well, you're not eating, so I mean you're eating, so let me not try to infect you. But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, with that, so far we do feel regular. Like I haven't felt any weird things, and Baby hasn't, as far as I know, Baby hasn't felt any weird things. So I don't know if I need to get like tested again.
No, 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 you're fine.
But
Well, you had it already, so you have natural immunities, and then you
mm,
also got your shot.
mhm.
Um, and even with all of the ness, that still is saying something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's why I
so
was like as far as I know, we were pretty good. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't be concerned.
Oh, thank you, thank you. The last big thing that we had, because I'm like, what else did we do? There was one time. Oh, it was a few weeks ago. It was Pride Night at the Red Bulls Arena, and that was probably the biggest that Baby and I have been around people like in a large group.
Yeah,
And it took place in Harrison, it's right next to Newark, and it was supposed to be the Red Bulls versus the Miami team, Miami
yeah,
soccer team. And it was raining so bad. It rained, it was thundering, lightning, and all that stuff that they had to cancel it. So
yeah,
we were just stuck. The game was supposed to probably start at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. They canceled the game at 10:30. So we was in the arena with all these random strangers
yeah,
for hours. And then so I'm like, that was the most we've ever been around people and since the pandemic started. So
yeah,
that was probably another like what thing that happened just that normally we're not going to soccer games and stuff,
yeah.
but yeah, that was something. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah. So we gonna talk about this book.
all right, here's the book.
Last week,
This is Convenience Store Woman.
if you go on Nightcap right now, we about to discuss convenience store woman.
I'm gonna read the back for everybody. All right.
Um, night Ricky, we're about to talk about convenience store woman. So if you want to go on Nightcap and tweet your thoughts, tell us your comments. If you want to. Oh, you're playing. Oh, you're playing your night. All right,
Oh,
cool. You'll see it later. You'll see it later.
you'll see it later.
All right,
All
thank you.
right. So Convenience Store Woman. So this is an international sensation that has sold more than 1 million copies in Japan and was named the best book of the year by U.S. publications from BuzzFeed to The New Yorker. Convenience Store Woman is a charming and unforgettable story of a Tokyo sales clerk, Kiko Furakura. Kiko is an unusual person, someone who has never fit in. But when she takes a job at Smile Mart, she finally finds peace and purpose in her daily tasks. But there's a huge pressure on Kiko to pursue a career, to find a husband, and she feels forced to take desperate action in order to please the people around her instead of herself. Is there room in this normal world for someone as strange as Kiku?
Yes.
All right. So, um, so I just want to say that the way that this was written was just so charming.
Mm-hmm.
it
Yes.
was it was altogether it was like maybe like 172 pages. It's around 172 pages. It took me like maybe 3 hours to read it. It was such a quick read.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was something that luckily Bibi has access to the library. So she was like, hey, it's on the library. Do you want to read it? And I was like, yeah. And like you said, banged it out in probably like 3 hours. If it was consistently, it would have been 3 hours, but I had it stretched because we were doing stuff that Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that it was written was very easy to digest. It was wonderful to relate to her in a way that I
Yeah.
didn't think I would. And I got mad for her on several occasions.
All right, so Nightcappers. Basically, the gist of it is this woman sort of she's a very interesting character. She can sort of zero in and pinpoint on things, so she's definitely it's weird because you can't even say like, oh, she's a big picture person or a detail person. She's literally both. She's able to see how the big things interact with the small things. And so when she's growing up, she gets this job at a convenience store, and all of a sudden it's like 6 years and she is like the best person to ever work at this convenience store. She understands everything that's needed in the store. She understands, okay, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock right now. We're about to have our 12 o'clock rush, but it's the winter time, so we got to get all of our hot foods ready, and we need to do this, and everything needs to be phased out. And she's always concerned about the chain or her store as a whole. And she sort of and not only does she is she concerned about her store, but she's also concerned about like, okay, like I decided to buy this item because it was going to be expired this day, that way it doesn't go to waste.
Oh yeah.
So like she wasn't even like saying like, oh, okay, like I if I wait a little bit longer, it'll be thrown out and I can get it for free. Like she's not even thinking like selfishly. She's thinking about the entirety of the store, and like she sees how valuable she is to the store, but also how the store is to all the people in the town. It's like it's crazy the way that she thinks. And not because it's like crazy, but because she understands the like how the big affects the small and how the small affects the big. I don't know. It's just I don't know. What like what do you think?
The, her name was Kiko,
Hmm.
I believe.
Yeah.
Kiko is like what a person would be if they weren't affected by Christianity or religion. Like the way she was so generally defaulted, like the your first settings of a phone, like she was literally at the first setting,
Yeah.
default setting, and the way she thought was very distinctively like this is what it is.
Yeah.
Why is that? What is this? Like she wasn't affected by other people's mannerisms and other people's way of life. And to say that when she didn't have a messed up family, because I thought maybe her family was like, weird or awkward or something.
Yeah.
No, her family was fine. She just ended up being that way.
Yeah.
And then when it came to the store made her a human being versus the other way around because she didn't know how to human before she
Yes.
worked. And then when
Yeah.
she worked, she became a human. And then it was like, I don't eat because I'm hungry. I eat for nourishment so that I can go back to
Work for the
work.
store.
To work
Yes.
for
Yeah.
this. So she was a part of the store, but really the store was part of her. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you would think she was a part of a store, but really the store was her whole life.
Yeah.
So it was
It gave
very,
her purpose.
but it made me mad because from someone who worked in retail, I was like, thank God I was a human who worked at a store
Yeah.
versus going to a place that makes me a human being and gives me a purpose. Because I'd be damned if I have to go to work to find a purpose in my life. Oh, it made me so mad. Oh my God. Oh man. But then it made me mad for there are parts that made me mad about her being there for so long. But then there are parts of me that I was like, no, because you wouldn't do that either, Joy. Like, you know that if you worked at a place for so long, you would never want to be the manager. You would never want to be the lead. You've experienced what that's like,
Yeah.
where it's not even like about the lead part or the general manager part. It's really like you just want to be promoted. Like you just want to have a raise. It's not so much I want to do more junk. I just want to get more money and I've been there longer, so I have experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just so I applauded her for being so committed to the store, but also like towards the middle and the end of the book, I was like, girl, girl,
Rick Brown
hmm.
says it sounds like she cares absolutely. She absolutely cared about working, and this was a store that um I was going to say, Joy was just talking about the middle of the book. So one of the things that was really expressed in the book was the fact that if you were, this is the, so it's a low end job, right? She's working at a convenience store. She's not a key holder, so it's lowbrow.
Basically 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
American 7-Eleven.
she's working at 7-Eleven. And the thing about it is that sh- so it's one of those jobs that, like, okay, like when you're 16 years old, 16, 17, maybe you're in college, it's an acceptable job, you know. An entry position is acceptable. um she's getting a little long in the tooth. She's around, 25, 30 years old, and now it's people are saying, "What's wrong with you?" And so she makes up these lies and says, like, "Oh, I have a health condition." Because if she says, "Oh, I have a health condition, so that's why I work, X amount of hours at this convenience store," people just like leave it alone because they're like, "Oh, okay, well, like she can't work, like she can't have a real job, so like it's fine." And so, so she sort of uses that as her excuse. Or and then she's also talking about the fact that all of a sudden now they're starting to ask her about, "Oh, well, why aren't you married? Like, why don't you get married
Hmm.
and become a housewife now? Like, you shouldn't be worrying about working at this convenience store or 7-Eleven. You should be trying to get married." And the thing that and they never say that that her brain is not, I believe it's called neurodivergent, which
Mm.
it just like reacts to things differently. But I always thought, like, well, maybe she has like a form of autism or something, because she had sort of difficulty um, expressing certain things, or like she would understand why people would get married, but like she but it would be like in a book sense. Like, she understood the definitions but didn't understand, but it didn't feel a certain way. If Does that make sense?
I knew that this child had a mental disability when she let this grown ass man be in her house talking about some stone age nonsense,
Yes.
and then basically treated him like a pet. I mean, clearly they weren't in a relationship, but still, she was like, "I must feed my pet, and then I have to do this, and this is just how it is." And I'm like, girl, bye.
So Joy's talking about the fact that mutually, her and somebody else in the store um crossed paths, and basically they used each other for what they could give each other. She could pretend to have a boyfriend, and he could pretend to have a girlfriend that would take care of her. And
Take
they
care of
mutually
him.
and take care of him, but it was it was just a way for socially people to stop being on her back, and
For
in
both of
exchange
them.
for, yes, and it would help both of them in a way. But they were using each other mutually, and it was just one of the situations that, just looking at it, it was like, oh no.
It was stupid because when they cross paths, the guy already didn't want to be there. Which
Mm-mm.
we've had coworkers like this. You have a whole job and you got these people that complain constantly, and you're like, why are you even here? Go away.
Yeah.
So I was fine with the whole slacker mentality because I've worked with people like that. But then this man, come to find out, was just trying to find a wife, like, but in a very stalkerish creeper kind of pedophile way. So people already was told her, "Hey, don't be around that guy because he's literally hitting on every vagina that breathes,
Yep.
and he's probably weird and dangerous." She's like, "Okay." And then she just talks to him like, "All right, well, I know you're looking for somebody. I need somebody, so let's do this." And then he's like, "Okay, well, I'm only doing this because da 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 da. I'm basically running away from my sister-in-law, like, who's
Yeah. Yeah.
hitting me up for because he's a damn slacker and he owes money, and he's like, society. I just want to get away from society, which
Yeah.
I understand society and its expectations and all
Yeah.
that, but I'm like, bro, you literally have been taking money from your parents and your sister-in-law
And
and your
sister-in-law and
brother.
brother.
and you're just like hiding to the point where he's the woman, the girl that we're talking about, her house, lucky she even has an apartment, completely in shambles, and he is sleeping in the bathtub.
He's sleeping in the bathtub, watching his phone.
And I felt bad because then I was also like, I don't want it to be like I'm living all high and mighty compared to how this man's living. But my God, like at least baby loves me. Jesus Christ. This fool is just like sleeping in the bathtub, laying down, not responding to anything. And then when everything hits the fan, he's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." But like, bro, you're lying. You don't care.
Yeah.
And this,
He
this I was just mad about that whole scenario.
And the best thing, or my favorite thing about the breakdown of all of it, was when her sister was very happy that she
Oh,
finally received she finally had a boyfriend. And so she's like, "Yeah, no, like it's like weird." And so her sister's like, "No, at least it's something, like I'm so happy for you." And she sees what's actually going on, and she was like, "Oh no." She was like, "Oh, this is worse than I thought. Like you're worse than I thought."
yeah. And
Like
that made me
that
sad.
moment was so heartbreaking, to just to see the fact that she realized that her sister, that
At the end of the
her,
day, it was really just about
the
society after all.
it was about society, the societal pressures to like just have a man, like having any man is better than having, or than being alone. So having the wrong man, having an abusive man, having somebody using you is more important than being alone and being happy working a entry level convenience store job. Like
Oh yeah.
that's better than living the life that personally made her happy and gave her purpose.
Oh yeah, because even when this Kiko, when the main character was on the phone with her sister, and the sister was like, talking to her like how she usually would, and then she's like, "Oh, so I have a boyfriend or something." She told her sister, and the sister was like, "Oh my god!" And then when she had the inner dialogue, like, "Wow, this is the most I've ever had my sister talk to me in my whole life,
Yeah.
and it happened to be about this. I must be more weird than I thought," or something along those lines. I was like, "God damn, oh."
Oh
But
yeah,
I feel
no,
that though. I felt that. I feel like that in terms of probably my life now.
yeah.
Maybe like when it came to like cousins and us talking about relationships and stuff, like we never really indulged on those things until later on in life. But mostly all my girl cousins, like they all have kids now
Yeah.
and jobs and other stuff, and I'm just like the one of the few that don't. So I'm just like, I felt that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this book was, like I said before, back before, I really did enjoy the book. It was just that middle and end part with that guy.
Yeah.
Once that guy entered the scene, I was like, this is not, I'm not enjoying this because this guy's an asshole and
Yeah.
he's ruining her. But overall, like the way that it ended, I was like, okay, well, she's back to something else.
Yeah.
But it did make me think about um I don't know if I ever shared this part with you, but there was something on YouTube about like people who marry roller coasters, people who marry things that are like inanimate objects.
Yeah.
She definitely reminded me, if she could have sex with that store, she would have sex with the store. Like she would have babies. She would open little mini carts around Japan.
The thing that I loved about it too was is that she it was like she would like it was just expressed that she was like asexual. She was like aromantic. Like she was like good without any like
Yeah,
she was like asexual. She was just like she didn't need sex. She didn't think about sex. It was like just a non-issue, and she was just like what she just I she was just a very interesting person to
yeah.
read about, or to even just like read in the voice of her, because that's a voice that we don't necessarily get a chance to have media about, somebody that thinks that differently than quote unquote the average person.
It made me think, if we didn't come so far when it comes to gender and sex and sexuality, if I didn't know iota of the things that I know now, I would have thought that this character was an android. or a robot. I would have never put an actual human to this persona, to this personality. I'm like, who thinks like this? Like, who really thinks like this? But now in 2021, I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? They're with the way that Japan is and the way that America is, like, I could see a lot of people preferring to be alone
Yeah.
and not have to deal with the craziness of getting married, having children, society pressures, having to get that raise, having to stay. What was it? They have like a 6-7 day work day week. Like it's
Yeah.
just constantly for the job. It's never really about it's that society is all about job culture and the company going getting better. It's never about the individual.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, forget that. Shoot. Without us, the company can't survive. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Without the employees, the company's just an idea. You got to get people to make it go, make it work. And I just no.
Yeah.
So it
But
was an
but
interesting book.
I was gonna say for her, that she needed that store. That store
Yes.
gave her something that she just didn't have.
Plus the thing about the thing about her too, and that store. So what I thought was interesting, and I tried to apply it to myself as well, is when she would go on about who she was working with and how she would take little bits of her coworkers and her managers and apply that to certain situations that she would fall in.
Yeah.
And I like that she'd be like, "Oh, if my mom asked me this question, I would respond in the way that my coworker Susie from 3 years ago would respond and be like, "Yes, girl," or
Yeah.
something. Or if this was my manager I was talking to, I would talk like the older woman that used to work with me and be like, "Yes, that is correct." And I liked how the other coworker who was like 20 something years old, like a young girl, she did notice, she did pick up on it, like, "Girl, you were never mad. Like when things normally piss us all off, you're the one that's very neutral and we don't know how you gauge like where you fit in until we get so riled up about it that you just agree with us, but we don't know if you're agreeing with us or you're just doing it because you're awkward. Like, what is that about?" And she's like, "No, everything's fine. I get mad." Oh man, I just couldn't understand this woman.
I was,
But I
and
like
that's
to,
and that's the
read it.
reason why I definitely thought that she might have like a form of like autism, because
Mm,
like instead of going with the way that she would react, like she doesn't have a way of reaction, but she knows that it's socially acceptable to act like the girl that's 4 years younger than her. When talking about a boy, it's acceptable for her to respond like that college age girl from 4 years ago that worked at the store. Like,
yes.
like she has like canned responses of different people in folders in her mind. That way she can pull that out and say, this is socially acceptable.
Yes. Which I was like, wow. But I'm happy to have read that book because it did give me a new perspective on like how other people are. Because like I said, Jake would have been an android to me, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, that girl ain't real. That's a robot."
It's like Siri.
It's literally Siri in human form
Yeah.
operating a store in Japan. Because the way she
Kind
was
of.
just, but the way that she was so dedicated about the store, where she was just like, "Yeah, and this has to go here, and this must go here, and I just why are we going to turn things around and da 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 da?" And she was just so committed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, she loved that store. So that was our first and only thus far Nightcap book club. If you
Hey,
didn't read it, hopefully we inspired you to. We didn't spoil the ending. We
no,
talked a lot about it, but we didn't spoil the ending for you. And yeah, excellent book. Bought it on a whim. There we go. Woo! All right. We still have a little bit more time. I don't know. Are you playing any? Are you currently playing anything?
um, physically, on Twitch, I'm actually doing a visual novel. I'm not playing it physically, like being a character, but
Yeah.
I'm reading through this person's story that I made up,
Okay.
or that it's made up, and then I just go with it. So
Okay.
that's like the playing thing. But the last game I was playing was called Eternal Blade. but I was only playing it. Oh wait, are you frozen? Oh snap! Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Yes.
Are you
Hello.
frozen?
Hello.
Okay, there you go. I was
There we
like,
go.
you're
We're back.
frozen. There you
Frozen.
go. Okay, I see. Okay, whew, goodness gracious. Um, I was playing this game, Eternal Blade, when I was editing my podcast. Oh, I should mention the podcast thing. But yeah, Eternal Blade is the probably the only really thing I'm playing right now. So yeah. What about you? What are you playing?
Did I tell you that I was playing a little bit of Coaster Tycoon?
No. When you play that?
Uh, there's a mobile version. Years ago I talked about it on Nightcap. The fact that like you could buy it, I think it's like $6 or something on I for the iOS version, and it's the classic version of the game. So I've just been like going throughout, like doing each mission one by one, sort
Mm.
of just going through the different things. So I've been doing that. It's one of those things that I guess it's sort of like it's kind of like therapeutic. I'm just like, okay, like I'm gonna just like make this park and it's gonna be great, and I'm not even like worried about like making crazy roller coasters. I'm just like, I'm gonna just do this. It's fine. Um, I don't know. Um, I haven't really been doing very much actual I would say like serious gaming. I've been
Same.
doing like lots of just like little here, little there. Um, I've been playing some Animal Crossings.
Mm.
Um, this month in Animal Crossings every Sunday, there's like a fireworks display at 7 o'clock. Like actually like at 7 o'clock in game. So that's really cool. I actually logged in. I didn't know it was happening. I just happened to like log in at like 6:45 and they were like, there's gonna be a fireworks show. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to that.
Aww.
Yeah, Animal Crossings is like the thing that I didn't realize that like I needed in life. It's just like
Mm.
just a random like, okay, here's some like animals that are just gonna be nice to you. I don't know. It's just like thank goodness you never did the Animal Crossings thing because it's just one of those things that uh, it could it could become an obsession if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, I saw that 5 miles away. I was like, we're not gonna indulge in that. I
Yeah,
just don't think that's safe for us.
yeah.
But I'll go back because there is a game on the Switch that I was aching to play. Um, Baby played it, and Baby's mom played it, and I never played it, but I love the soundtrack to the game. The game is called Donut County.
Oh, I've seen that.
I kept calling it Donut Country for the
Yeah,
longest time,
yeah,
but I was really careful to say Donut County. And
yeah,
I played more than half of it on my first time playing, but I never got back to it because Bib is the one that's been out here gaming her
yeah,
booty off.
yeah.
She's been playing Pokemon Unite, and she's been playing Hades, and she was playing Dead Cells, and she was playing some other stuff.
Why do I feel like did she play Spirit Fervor?
No, but that was something I wanted to play. But then
Okay.
I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know if that game's kind of for me. That might be for her.
I was gonna say Cupid played it and loved it.
Okay, so like
Cupid
that's
played it and like loved it, like crying, just like
because I know it's
it's good.
about it's a black woman that like
Yeah,
releases spirits, right? Like helps
yeah.
spirits go cross
Pass on.
over.
Yep. Hmm.
And at first, like looking at it, I'm like, I would love to play that. But then when I was seeing it, I was like, is that really for me, or is it in terms of the way that it's like the mechanics of it? I'm like, should I play that or
Yeah, yeah. I think. Well, you like story, emotionally driven story games, so yes,
okay? That's
it's
I was like, I just don't want to build nothing. I don't want to build nothing. I don't want to do any of this craziness. I just want to play the game, feel the story, read
you
it,
would
and
yes, you would like it.
okay,
It's
okay. So
it's
I'll
a joy
probably
game. It's emotionally driven. Like
mhm.
yes, you can put stuff places, but that's not the core mechanic.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I'll probably buy it on Steam. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know if it's. Cause I want to play it. I'll play it on stream. Like I'll definitely play. I
yeah,
just wasn't sure whether I should play it because I don't think it's on PlayStation. So
yeah.
after a while, I
Yeah,
feel like I've stopped playing anything on PlayStation now. Like
yeah.
it's
Well,
crazy.
also when you spend X amount of dollars on a impressive gaming rig, you want to use your gaming rig.
Oh, completely. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this and Infinibay, which
yeah,
is also her. I want to say when I bought her a year ago. Like it's
hmm,
been a year since I bought the computer.
yeah,
It hasn't been a year since I got the computer,
yeah.
but
Of course.
I'm just like, wow, it's been a whole year since I bought it. Like actually like sat down and all right, F it. Buy it. Like,
Cha-ching.
yo, the cha-chings have been crazy
Yeah,
lately. I've just been very blessed. And yeah, so Spiritfarer, I had a friend who did play it on stream, but I didn't want to watch it because I was like, oh
yeah,
no, I
yeah,
don't want to. So that's the only thing about being a streamer now. I'm like, I want to support my friends, but I'm also like, I can't watch you.
yeah. When the things line up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I also did a little Dead by Daylighting on my Switch because I have it on Switch, I have it on PlayStation, I have it on uh, a mobile, which mobile is its own separate sort of entity. Because you can crossplay on all the stuff except for mobile. Just
Mhm.
because mobile is like the easiest, and the reason why is because like they make it so that way like sounds you can see like little lines to show that there's sounds going through, and it's because like most of the time like if you're on your phone you're not gonna have the volume up all the way. Like they needed
Okay.
a way of sort of transmitting that visually. Um,
I would love to play Dead by Daylight with you. Like, I have the game and I know how to play it and stream it at the same time. So like if you
yeah,
ever I'm telling you like whenever you want to play this together, just let me know cuz I do have I can play it on my other monitor. Like
yeah.
I can play it and we could stream it or
I'm
something.
I will play with you. I just want to let you know I'm booty. I'm booty at
I played
Survivor.
I played the game one time. You think I
I'm
am a
no.
pro?
I'm just letting you know I'm booty at Survivor. I'm really good at Killer,
I
but
don't even know what that means. Oh, I get it
I'm
now.
good at. And the problem is that so if we're trying to play together, it's going to make it so that way we're both survivors together because you can't really like unless
Kill
you
your
have
friend.
three other people, you can't do like Killer with friends because
Can't.
then people will like team up against like be like okay well in order for you to get like the things like we'd have to do like super custom, so we'll do like survive with friends, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm sure between us we have friends that we could play with for this game.
You know what, I don't play with I because I always just do solo. I'm
Oh,
really bad. Yeah, so it'll be me and you.
okay. I mean, I'm down for that. I just and also because I know we're not playing it, but Friday the 13th, like I still
Oh,
have that because of
I
you.
love that. I stop it, that's like I love that game so much. Stop.
I'll play it for you. That's why I'm like now.
Stop it.
My setup is way different, better than before. So I'll play it with you.
Um,
Yeah, just let me know, like, so I can do it. Cause like I said, I think I said before, like my god sister, which I'm gonna hit her up. Cause me and her, she's got me playing Fortnite and thinking
oh,
about Fortnite.
that's so funny.
I'm only playing it because of her, so I'm just like, oh, whenever I gotta hit up her mama, be like, "When's your daughter free so we can play Fortnite
That's
together?"
so funny. That's
When she's free for that, you know?
ah I
I'm
can't
trying
believe
to
it's our.
game.
Can you believe it's time?
It's time already. God dang.
All right, and Rick Brown said, as
Okay.
far as convenience store woman, he said that, but her job was a real job. It sounds like she just wanted to be happy, and that was the thing that I just kept on thinking about was that it didn't matter what if what she wanted in life was prestigious or not. She was happy with what she was doing. Like if you separate the way that other people made her feel. So like no, she
Mm.
should just be happy. Like that's what's important.
There was a video I saw. Was it a video or was it? It was Humans in New York. I'm sorry. So Humans in New York. I love that guy Brandon, whatever his name, who has all these stories in New York, and he did a story on a man who is a butcher at Cat's Delicatessen,
Hmm.
and he's like, that's all I wanted to do, which is be the butcher for that place. And he's like, yeah, people have asked me, like, why do I want to do this so much? He's like, I am 87 years old, and my purpose in life is to cut meat so people can eat it. That's it. Like, I don't want nothing else. I go home, and then I wait, and then I come back, and then I open the store. And he's like, I had no experience prior to this. I
Yeah.
just knew that this was my job to like cut this meat. And luckily, there was a opening, and the guy said, like, what can you do? And I said, I can cut. No, it wasn't meat. It was fucking locks. It was locks.
Yeah.
Cutting locks, like cutting fish. He was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know how to cut. I know how to cut it. I know how to do it. And then he was like, all right, you're hired, because he said he used to have a job where he was like probably like a businessman,
Yeah.
and he was like, fuck that. I just want to cut fish.
Yeah.
And then I was like, damn, how do you do that, sir? And then he's like, yeah, I love it. I don't regret it. And I was like, that's this bitch. That's this convenient woman store. He's like, my purpose in life was to cut locks, salmon locks, for the people of New York. And I've
Yeah.
done that, and I will do that until I die. And I was
Yeah.
like, cool.
And it makes him happy, so he's good.
So I really didn't like how people in the book were like, but I also felt that in society, American society, we're oppressed like that every day,
Yeah.
all the time. So I feel her.
Ah. All right. So I'm just gonna pop up all this stuff. Look at that. So follow Joy at Joy Infinity and
Yes,
beyond. Joy
yes,
Infinity.
sir.
All the things. That's her Twitch. That's also her YouTube and her Twitter and her Instagram and her T-shirt thing and her Fiverr and her OnlyFans.
Yep, all of it.
I was gonna
Did
say,
you
wait,
know?
did you trademark your OnlyFans?
No, but did you know that Twitch has a tag for just sleeping now?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I don't even have to take my clothes off. I could just sleep. But I'm not doing that. Bibi was like, you better not. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you can just sleep. It's
just
crazy.
just sleep. Yeah, I was gonna say, Rodney. Yeah, we're already done. I can't believe it. Um, and the next time that we come back on, I remind me. Or actually, um, oh, cool. Maybe this will be a new thing.
What?
Where we could suggest content, and then the other person, if they didn't watch it, um, could do a
Oh,
thing. If you
okay.
guys are interested, I watched Fear Street on Netflix.
Oh, yo, I'm seeing so many people talk about that.
Yeah, so next episode, if you want to talk about Fear Street, we I'm gonna bring up Fear Street. So it was very good. It's a 3-part series, but if you just watch any of it, it'd be cool.
Okay, Fear Street. I'm nervous about it, but I'm also like, we'll see.
It's actually very good. It's
Okay.
it's very good, character driven and story driven. You can ignore any gore that's sort of going on because the meat and potatoes is probably the story more than anything else. So yeah,
Okay.
and
Okay, good.
stylistically, it's very cool. Okay.
Okay. I will
Ah!
recommend I
All
will
right.
recommend I just watched it. It came out today. It's called Pray Away. And Pray Away is about conversion therapy and people that have been through it,
Mhm.
and people who are also in support of it, and people that aren't supporting it. And it was really, it wasn't just conversion, gay conversion therapy, blah. It was really like, it was the way that it went. I was like, oh wow, like it followed a few people,
Yeah.
a good, the leaders, how America was about homosexuality and still is about it. Like it, oh man. So
Yeah.
I say, if you haven't seen my Instagram, I posted on it on my story, but
Okay.
it's called Pray Away on Netflix. Yeah, on Netflix. And it was, wow. And a lot of the people in these gay conversion therapy places, or these gay conversion centers and conventions,
Cool.
These people is gay as fuck. Like straight up. You would think like it's literally just so telling. So yeah, if you
Yeah,
want to see that, watch Fear Street and then
yeah.
watch Pray Away because it's
Pray
just
and then pray away it.
pray it away because I
Pray it
was like,
away. Pray it away.
wow, these people are insane. But you know what?
Oh, it's especially the process of, oh, can you tell me that thing that you did? Can you tell me that thing that you were thinking about doing?
Yo,
Yeah,
literally, there were
yeah,
there was a woman. I don't want to give away the whole thing, but just saying there was a woman that you're following, and she said that she's like, yeah, I had to report to this man, and I had to tell him everything, every thought I had, if I was gonna do something, if I was still in contact with that person, and she was like, yeah, and she was with them for 9 years.
yeah,
I was like, from the time she was 16, I was like, oh my god,
yeah.
I can't even imagine.
I just watched a lady, a lady that does something called Fundy Fridays, and she just had an interview about with somebody that's like that like works that like did conversion therapy when he was younger, and he's done tons of research on it.
Mm,
And that was really cool. It was an hour long conversation. So it's funny you bringing this up because like I'm just like because the way that he was talking about it was is that he said it's sad because it's like the thing that you want you can't get. You're doing all the steps, but yet it's not bringing you there. Because like I'm trying
mm,
to be a good Christian, I'm trying to do all this stuff, and it doesn't matter. So year one, you're like, okay, yeah, I think it's gonna work. I'm optimistic. Year two, you're like, I really think it's gonna work. Year three, you're losing your steam, and by a couple of years, you're like, this isn't working. Like I'm doing all the stuff I'm supposed to do, and it doesn't
mhm.
even matter because it's not working.
Oh
So it was
yeah.
just a really interesting take because it's not because yeah, I can't wait until we discuss it in general. I'm gonna watch that.
Oh yeah, please. And send me that thing, the hour long thing. Please send me that
Oh
because I would
yeah,
love to watch that.
no, that was it was really good. Yeah, we'll do.
Thank you. Okay, look at us recommending things to each other and actually watching them. What? Hey.
All right. Unfortunately, we got to get going, but
Mm.
thank you so much, Konnichiwa,
Konnichiwa, oyasumi nasai, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
All the things. Ronnie always reminds me. It's so funny. I'm like, I should just say that when I leave, and I always don't know how to end off the streams. So
Yeah.
he'll say it. I'm like, yeah. Oyasumi nasai,
Oh,
Oklahoma,
Yasumi Nasai. All
Kentucky.
right.
Yep, we're done already.
We are done already. Boom. That's a tight show.
It really was
Oh!
cramped. But we'll see you. What 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks from now, we're back on schedule.
Yeah.
I know,
Shout out,
right?
shout out to Ricky. Chocolate Moxie.
Ooh.
See you later. Thank you, Rodney, for
Yeah.
posting.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rodney. We love you.
Plus, Baby saw on her iPad that.
Ah! You
See, there
too.
she is. Yes. She saw your notification.
Ah! I love you.
Aww. Yes.